watching NotesIn9.
Hello, and welcome to NotesIn9. I'm David Leedy. Episode 91, XPages Memory Profiling, Part 1. Profiling. It's not always a bad thing. Okay, here's a big disclaimer for the show, in that all the material I'm about to present, I knew nothing about 2 hours ago. It's right now about 5:30 my time after work. I started kind of really researching this around 3:30 my time, and I wouldn't have gotten anywhere without the help from Nathan Freeman and some other posts in the community. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about YourKit, which is found at YourKit.com. And what YourKit is a memory profiling application you can install, put on your Domino server, and the goal is to look for memory leaks. Now, I'm about to show you how to install it. I don't really know how to look for the memory leaks yet. I think I kind of have an idea, but I'm not sure. So again, we're just going to talk about installing it. That's why this is a part 1. Again, a big thanks to Nathan Freeman, who was kind enough to give me some help. There's a short link here to an article on Sean Cull's website kind of talking about this, and there's a great comment that was crucial to get me started, number 3 by Jeremy Hodge, to get through that. So what is the goal here? The goal is to look for these memory leaks. A memory leak is typically caused by not recycling your Domino objects. This especially happens when you're doing looping through notes view entries or notes documents or so. If you don't kind of like do a recycle in there, you're going to get killed with memory leaks, and it's going to crash your server. On the website XPagesCheatSheet.com, I have a demo of downloading 50,000 records to Excel, and I originally didn't recycle there, and it would every so often that my server would crash, and I just didn't know why. I suspected it was something I was doing dumb. And then Sadar, and I'm not going to pronounce his last name, Bechamez. Okay, I tried to pronounce it, and I screwed it up. But Sadar, who's a great developer, found my problem in like seconds, basically, and it came down to recycling. So you have to remember that the Domino objects that you use in XPages are Java based, not LotusScript based. So you kind of have to recycle this stuff as you use it. And what really kind of set me on this path is at the day job, I might have a problem with one of my apps that's crashing a server. Declan thinks, but I'm hoping not. So this is going to hopefully tell us if I'm right or if he's right, and my money's on him, quite honestly. But we'll see. So anyway, here's a demo on how to basically install YourKit, get it connected to your Domino server, your test Domino server, not your production Domino server, and at least start there. And then I'm hoping that I'll get maybe some comments on how to use this stuff or whatever, and by part 2 I'll show you a little more about how to try to find these memory leaks. So anyway, here's the demo. Okay, so here's the YourKit.com website, and they are the industry leader in .NET and Java profiling, and I have no reason to dispute that. So what we want to do is we want to install the Java profiler into our Domino server. Now I'm actually working off my Domino server right now. I'm not inside of my typical Notes client. So I do the download for Java, and we would take this installer here and click and download that. Okay, now I've already done it, so I'm not going to do it again. But then what you have to do is you have to get an evaluation license key, and you get a free key for 15 days. So that's what I did. And we'll minimize that. And then when you install YourKit and run it, it will ask you for that key, and you paste it in. Okay, that's been done. I've already done that, so you can figure that out. So now here are my 2 running applications. So the HTTP server for Domino, and this is actually YourKit stuff. I'm not exactly sure how I got that here. You don't need that. But how did we get this far? Because this starts off blank. Well, you have to configure the Domino server to use this profile. And the way you do that is Tools, Integrate with Standalone J2EE Server. And I pick this generic server here. Next. And then this is the setting that you're going to need to use. But according to the post on Jeremy, we do one extra thing with it. Is we're going to take this string, and you see how as I'm typing, the 32-bit and 64-bit are changing. And we're going to type in listen equals, and then the local IP address, which in my case is 1.35, and then a port 10,001, not 100,001 as I did it earlier today, because that's not going to fly, because that's not an acceptable port. So I'm going to copy this to the clipboard. Okay, so what do you do with this string? Well, you need to make what's called a Java options file. Okay, and if we look here, oops, let me try this again. So I pasted this in a brand new text file, and then I called it YourKit options file. The name doesn't really matter. That's the name Jeremy used, so if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. And it basically has this string in here that they've given me everything except that little last bit, that little listen bit. Okay, so all this wizard does is basically give you the string for your Java options file. So then what you have to do is you have to go into your notes.ini and say, I copy this because I'm going to need that. But when you copy it, don't take that part, because I did that without thinking, because it's not actually in the data directory, it's in the Domino directory. And then you add this line here that says Java options file equals C colon, and then your path, and then the file here. Okay. Once you do that, then you've got to restart your Domino server. Okay. No big deal. After that, then it's ready to go, I guess. So I kind of thought I'd be able to click on this and use it right here, but that's not working for some reason. So I'm doing this connect to remote application. And here's my local IP address with that port that's been used, and I connect to this. Okay, and we start getting pretty little graphs. And the one I'm mostly interested in is memory. Now, how do you use this? I don't have a clue yet. That'll hopefully be part 2 of the show. I'm just trying to show you how to install it. But to show you that it is kind of like working and doing something, we'll go to XPages, sheet.com, and just kind of like move around here a little bit. And if we come back here, you see these things are starting to move a little bit. And this is the big one. I actually had a memory leak on this export to Excel, which has been fixed because I wasn't doing a recycle. So I'm probably going to try that again and take the recycle out and try that. But this is basically exporting 50,000 records, so that does do a lot. So you can see movement here, and I'm actually kind of surprised that it went down. But that's the garbage collector is supposed to bring these things down. So from what I got from their video then is how you are supposed to do this is if you force garbage collection here, if this doesn't go down to wherever it started from, which I guess was around 17, I guess I should look closer, then you have a memory leak. So if I take that recycle out, which I'll try and do in another show, if I take that recycle out, when I hit this should not go down. If you have a memory leak, it should not go down as far as the start is. Now, how to kind of like reset this and kind of get a better view and zoom in on stuff like that, I don't have a clue yet. And then down here, you can kind of actually see how many calls you have to something. Here's a Java, 65,000 string objects, etc. This isn't a great example because this is a public server, so there could be other people using this as I do this demo. I don't know. So it would be nice to have a kind of a controlled environment. Here are calls, I guess, to tree map, how many objects have been used. But again, not sure how to read it yet. But this is how you at least install it and get going with it as best as I can tell, with a lot of help from the internet and especially Nathan Freeman. And that's the demo. If you have any questions for me, here's my contact information, and I thank you for your time.